Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to service your own car. I got a few quotes recently from garages and it was an awful lot of money, in the hundreds, so I thought I'd do this myself. It's going to be a lot cheaper and actually I think it's pretty easy to do anyway. So we're going to start off with the cabin filter, which is just on the left there. Then we've got the air filter. Then we'll be going ahead and installing a new oil filter along with the oil, which is 5W20 for Ford Fiesta Ecoboost. So yeah guys, you don't need any fancy tools. I reckon it will take less than an hour to do, so save yourself hundreds of pounds and have a go at this for yourselves. So the first job is going to be the air filter. So we've got a couple of screws that we need to take out, and there's one hiding at the back there behind the hose. So this is going to require a T25 Torx bit, and I've got my ratchet, and so it's just a simple case of loosening the fasteners off one by one. Let's move on to the second screw now. Take that out. Then the third one at the top right here. Now this last screw is difficult to get to, so we're going to have to move this air hose out of the way first. So I just get a flathead screwdriver and then just proceed to loosen off the screw. And that will loosen that clamp and allow us to remove the hose. Like so. So this last screw has actually been rounded out, so that means our Torx bit isn't going to be able to extract it. So this is a good thing this has happened because I can show you worst case scenario now. So what I'm going to do is get an extractor bit and I'm going to hammer it into that fastener, and that will bite into the top part, and that will allow me then to unscrew it. And now it's bitten into the fastener, I can simply unscrew it. I'll leave a link in the description to some of these tools. So once you've unscrewed it, take it out, and you can see just how badly stripped out that screw is. Should be shaped like a star. So now that we've removed the screws, we can take the lid of the filter housing off, and that reveals our filter, and then just go ahead and take the filter out. It's as easy as that. Now let's go ahead and grab our new air filter and insert it into the housing. And then let's go ahead and pop the lid back on. And all we need to do now is a reverse of what we've just done. So pop the hose back on and let's tighten down the clamp. And now we just need to insert our screws and tighten them back down. There's the first one. There's the second one. Let's put the third one in now, and I'm going to leave the fourth one for now because obviously it's stripped out, so I'll have to replace that at some point. And that's it. That's the air filter done. Okay, so let's go and move on to the cabin filter now. So that's just under the steering wheel, and there's a screw right there, and we need to take that out. So let's pop the chair back first, and then just unwind the screw with a Phillips screwdriver, and then it will simply just come out, and then just take the insert out as well. Once we've done that, we can just pop out this piece of trim, just like that. And now we have two more screws that we need to undo, and these are Torx T20 screws. So just loosen them off and unwind them out. So there's the first one, and then proceed to do the same with the second one. Again, slacken it off. And then just take it out with the plastic piece. And now all we have to do is grab our cabin filter. So just slide that out. And just pay attention here to the airflow arrows. So most filters will have arrows on them, and it just shows you the direction of the airflow. So we want our new one to go back in the same way. So grab your new filter here and ensure that the airflow arrows are pointing in the correct direction, and then just simply install your new filter. There you go. Now all we need to do, guys, is get the plastic cover and line it up with the holes, and then just reinsert the screws. So let's do the top one first, and we'll get the bottom one started as well. And then just get your ratchet and tighten them down. And same again for the top one. Now all we need to do is get a piece of trim and insert it back in. So just line it up, take your time with this, and it should snap right in. There you go. And then we'll just get our screw and insert. So pop the insert in first, and then just get your screw and push it in. And that's literally it, guys. It's that simple and easy to do. You're better off doing this job for yourself than paying someone else a load of money to do it for you. So lastly, we need to do the oil change. So just make sure that you jack the car up safely. So I've got some car ramps and I've put a jack under there. I've got the wheels chocked off at the back there, as you can see, and I chocked the wheels off on both sides, front and back. Better safe than sorry when it comes to safety. And you also want to make sure that your handbrake is on. So yeah, guys, just make sure the car is safe before you go underneath it. So first off, open up the oil cap, and this will just allow the oil to flow better when we open the drain plug in a minute. So next we want to get under the car and unscrew the drain plug. So this is going to require a 13mm socket. And once you've slackened the plug off enough, you can then start undoing it by hand, and just remove your hand quickly out the way when the oil starts flowing, or you'll get it all over you. So once your oil is drained out, you can then proceed to take your oil filter out. I'm using an oil filter wrench for this to loosen off the oil filter, and again I'll leave a link in the description to some of these tools. Once you've loosened it off, you can then proceed to loosen the rest off by hand. And you want to move quickly here, guys, as you don't want oil spilling all over you. So now that we've removed the old filter, we've got the new filter here, and I'm just lubricating it with a bit of fresh oil on the gasket before we insert it back in. So now it's just a case of screwing it back on, and you can actually just screw these down hand tight and it'll be perfectly fine. So there we go, that's on tight and off now. And before we put our oil drain plug back in, just check the washer to make sure that it's okay and hasn't perished in any way. And once you've done that, you can then go ahead and reinsert your drain plug. So just tighten it down by hand to start with. And then I proceed to tighten it up with my ratchet. So now all we need to do is put our fresh new oil in. It's 5W20 for this Ford Fiesta Ecoboost. And the lovely British weather has decided to absolutely chock it down. Right in the middle of summer. Lovely jubbly. So my car requires about 4.1 litres of oil, so that's exactly how much I'm going to put in. And as you can see here guys, the good old British weather never disappoints. Absolutely smashed with water. Excellent. Okay, so once we've added all our oil in, we want to just check it on the dipstick. You can't see it very well on camera here, but it's just on the max mark there, so that's absolutely fine. And we also want to make sure that we dispose off our old oil correctly guys. So I'm just going to pour my old oil into a milk carton for now, and then I'll dispose of it at the correct facility. Whatever you do here guys, don't throw it down the drain as it's really toxic. Now you can actually use old oil for a number of things. Some people use it as like a coolant on their drill bit, so when they're drilling into metal you can put a dab of this oil on there and it will cool the drill bit down. Another use is if you've got an old lawnmower, you could also use it for that. And finally, another way I've seen people using this is actually on wood. So if you've got any garden fence posts and you don't want them rotting out, you can paint the bottom of the fence post and this actually preserves it. So surprisingly, this stuff does have a few uses. Like I say, you can take it to the correct facility and dispose of it. And the last thing you can do here guys is you can check your fluid levels. So on each tank you'll have a min and max mark. So just make sure your fluid is between that range. If it's not, you can just top it up. So for example, if you need the coolant, just get some ready mix coolant and top it off. And you can get that in the concentrate version like so, or you can get it in the ready mix version. And like I say, just go around all your different tanks and just check that the fluid levels are correct and just top up accordingly. So I've got some brake fluid here. If this was below the min level, you just top it up, and it really is that simple guys. And that is literally it guys. That's how easy it is to do your own service. It took me less than an hour, cost me a fraction of the price of what it would cost at a garage, and very easy to do. So if you like what you're seeing today guys, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one. See you later.